I'm super excited today to be able to share with you that we have just launched our new e-learning platform for Axis ACAP application developers. So this platform will contain learning material for everything you need to write applications for the Axis cameras. Everything starting from simple getting started courses where you first get to learn how you can create applications that run on board the Axis cameras without any dependency on network, infrastructure, extra hardware, or anything else outside the camera itself. All the way ranging to complex topics about specific APIs, how to investigate the trade-offs between different available libraries to see what you can do to maximize the portability and compatibility with the application to support the maximum range of cameras and firmwares available. And all the way going down to specific developer tools, looking at automated testing, looking at GDB usage in the camera, looking at how to use value grind for memory leak, sanitation, and all these kind of interesting topics that there is to learn about ACAP development, which will make you to a more senior, more experienced developer capable of creating applications that are more robust, that are more effective. The first course we have today is something that will feel familiar to you if you have read the technology integration partner news the last few weeks. So one change that is currently going on from Axis is to limit the possibility to run your applications as the root user. So instead you will need to use a low privilege user, and this is something that will affect every application that is developed with SDK 3 or SDK for native, which is the two most common ACAP SDKs out there. So it will have a significant impact on essentially all ACAP developers in the world. And the changes are going to be performed during 2023 and 2024. And by mid-2024, you need to be compliant with these restrictions if your application should continue to be working in the new firmwares. So this is something that every company developing applications need to understand, regardless if you have existing applications that you want to make sure still are functioning, or if you're creating a new application and don't want to go down a dead street where your application suddenly stops working just as you have finished it. So this course is the first one we're offering on our platform. You can register for free on the platform, and then you pay for the courses on a subscription model. And if you look in the comments to this post, you will find a discount link for this first derouting efforts and impact course that we have available today. But anyway, register for the e-learning platform to make sure that you can see all the courses we have as we're launching new courses regularly. So if we take a look at this specific derouting course, we can see that the start of the course is a high-level overview where you learn what are the impacts of this course, what will change, and how do you need to react at it, and when will these changes happen, so you know the timeline that you need to adhere to make sure your application continue to work. After going into these high-level topics, we will dive into the details, and we will start looking at the exact changes that are imposed in the new runtime in the camera. So we will make a bunch of experiments where we show the result, and you can also easily follow along in the experiments using either our example applications that we use in the course, or you can follow along with your own applications, replicating the same experiments within those applications. And in this first section, we will see the different restrictions that are made. So we will start by looking at the difference between a static user and a dynamic user. And the dynamic users are a new user type recommended by Axis, which is not specified as a static user, which is the one you currently see in all the Axis examples. But the dynamic user is instead using more granular permissions where you can specify more specifically the different resources you need. So this is better from a security perspective, and it is better from a portability perspective, since it will be more future-proof once Axis continues to introduce these kind of changes that we discuss in the course. But to be able to use this dynamic user, you need to understand the model for deciding what privileges your applications have. And we will learn that in the course by looking at how different secondary groups will give your application different permissions to do things that the application need to do, or to communicate with the resources in the camera that your application depends on. And after looking at the secondary groups and how you can use them, we will look at Linux capabilities to understand another level of setting privileges for different processes and applications. And the capabilities is something that has seen major difference between the root user ACAPs and the low privileged user ACAPs. So that is something that is important to understand to be able to evaluate if your current application will work, or if you're going to use a third-party library. You will also need to understand what capabilities that library require to function. And after looking at these different limitations and restrictions that are imposed by Axis, we will move on to the next section, where we will look at different ways of implementing the application, different best practices and different methods that allows you to efficiently use the platform in a portable, robust and future-proof way. And we will see at different ways you can deal with these limitations if your application still requires some kind of root privileges. We will look at how you can create a detailed error message which makes it easy for the user to understand the issue and understand what to do if your application isn't compatible with the settings they currently are using. So we have a lot of different deep dives in this course. The course is approximately 8 to 20 hours long, and it will be a lot of valuable information, both to companies that already have an application that they need to migrate from the root user to a low privileged user, but also to new developers that haven't been developing applications before and need to learn how to do it in a best practices way to make sure that what they do is portable and future-proof. The e-learning platform is available today, and you can go there by going to learning.fixedit.ai and register for free. Once you're registered, you will be able to see the different courses and the different prices for the subscription, but you will also gain access to a lot of our free material. So our free material include free short courses, which are more isolated topics that we deep dive into, and then we have an FAQ section where we answer frequently asked questions by our clients. And we try to answer these questions in a thorough way, focusing on real-world experience by creating real-world applications. So it's not only the technical answers with a lot of technical details, but it's also explanations of how we have applied it in our solutions and in our production applications, and what we have learned by doing so. So with that said, in the comment section of this post, you will find a discount link. If you register with that link and buy the derouting efforts and impact course, which I highly recommend to everyone, regardless if you're migrating an application or if you just want to learn best practices and gain new ideas of how to doing things, then you will get a discount on the subscription. So I'm happy to see you in the e-learning course, and see you in the e-learning platform.